My name is 𝘃𝗵𝗶𝗀, and welcome back to my channel. Listen, I know we've done some videos on this topic, and so I thought it might be interesting to talk about some of the experiences that I've had with this particular topic, and just kind of relax with it, and I guess they call this a vlog, and tell you what I've experienced, and maybe it'll help somebody. I think that's the goal, right? Because a lot of people will tell you that when you're a people pleaser, right, when you engage in people pleasing behaviors, that you are empathic and intuitive, and so inevitably you're going to link up with a narcissist, and you're going to be treated in a particular way, and yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that can happen, definitely, but that's not necessarily your destiny. So that's the first thing. I guess if there's a myth to be dispelled in this video, that's going to be what I want to dispel. But what I will say is that it is so easy for people pleasers to link with someone who is narcissistic. And by that, I mean that engages in narcissism, not acutely, but chronically, and is more than likely living with undiagnosed or diagnosed narcissistic personality disorder. Because again, I've told you that we can all be narcissistic. I can be narcissistic, you can be narcissistic, your friend that you're about to send this to can be narcissistic. Speaking of friends, make sure that you tag a few below, because remember, we're still doing comment and win. So I would love to send you something, I don't know what, but something, because I got tons of stuff that I can send you. But, it's really easy for it to happen. And I'll go ahead and confess that I was unaware of narcissistic abuse as an abuse style, if you will, as a type of abuse, until I came in contact with a fair amount of people, probably all within the last, I would say, 5 to 8 years, that had gone through this, that had been with someone who was so predatory and manipulative in their worldview that it actually shattered these individuals at their core. And it takes years to heal from this. And let me say that if this is something that you're going through or you have gone through, healing is your best friend. And healing is not going to be going to the therapist one time to talk about it. It's not going to be writing in your journal. It's not going to be going back to church. It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be those deep dives within you to look at, okay, when this happened, again, I'll say this, listen, I've done videos about it. I did an affirmation. I've done reels about it. No one has the right to treat you any way but well. People pleaser or not, no one has that right. And so, when I began to learn about this, it came into my life at a time when I was really obsessed with healing. Like I knew now implicitly that healing was not just something you get when you die and go to heaven, because that's what we're taught in church. That's what religion says, that you only get healing when you die and go to heaven. And while yes, I do still believe that is a type of healing, I do believe that we can be engaged in healing right here on earth. And it can be a process that is lifelong. It has to be, right? But it's a demonstration and a commitment of self-love. Because anytime I take the time to turn into myself and learn more about who I am and why I'm that way, and to really pinpoint things that I don't want to be anymore. I remember the first time I sat down with my therapist, with my then therapist. This is the first therapist. I've had two. The first therapist I sat down with, I told her, I said, I respond to certain things in a certain way and I don't like it. And the unfortunate was she became so enamored. She was so enamored with me. Oh, she loved my hair and my clothes and the way I dress, and that she couldn't be a therapist, which was really disheartening, which is why in my practice now as a coach, when my clients say they're going to see a therapist, I'm immediately checking that therapist, because there's too many therapists out here wanting to play coach. And I'm like, no, therapists deal with the past and the present. coaches deal with the present and the future. Myself, I have some spiritual credentialings and whatnot that allow me to do what's known as pastoral counseling, which is why if you look me up on Psychology Today, you'll see me. But yeah, I don't like when therapists play coach. I don't like when they don't get to the root of why certain behaviors are happening. And so anyway, I had a conversation with my first therapist, and she just, oh girl, you're fine. Okay, listen, first and foremost, if someone comes to you and they say, hey, there's something about me that I don't like, there's a behavior I'm exhibiting at these particular points in time, what we're not going to do is wave that person away with, girl, you're fine. And as it stands, because she had more letters after her name than I do, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'm overreacting. So I minimized my concern, people pleaser. I minimized my concern because it wasn't a concern to her. And then the behavior kept coming up, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. And so that was when I picked up the phone and I texted one of my girlfriends, and she had always raved about her therapist. Oh, she loved her therapist. I was like, I don't care, because my first therapist was Black. And I told this particular girl, I don't care if she's blue, purple, plaid, polka dot, striped, herringbone, argyle print. I don't care what she is. Give me the number. And she gave me the number. And she was not Black, not even close to Black, not even Black adjacent, right? And so I began to sit on her couch, and she began to break me down. And when I say that, please trust me, it wasn't a tough love situation. She wasn't trying to fix my life, if you will. I've never watched the show, but I do know it exists because I have clients that ask, is it going to be like that? I don't watch the show, but I doubt it. I'm not going to do a Hollywood coaching session. That's not what we do here. But she broke me down in that my concerns were valid and they came from real places. And she gave me the space to heal. And let me be clear about something. I didn't always like it. I didn't always like sitting on that couch. I didn't like sharing with her. I didn't like dissolving in a puddle of tears. I didn't like that. And I didn't wear nearly the amount of eyeliner that I wear now. I didn't like dissolving in a puddle of tears in front of this person, but it was necessary for me to get where I needed to get, so that when I encountered individuals who needed safe space, I would know exactly what that looked like. So I give to them what she gave to me, what my second therapist gave to me, what my first therapist did not. And that's always the goal. So, like I said, being a people pleaser, contingent upon what and how you do it, and the level that you do it, on, I guess. Okay, yeah, you can definitely attract in people that will exploit that. And some of them are narcissists, and some of them are just being narcissistic. I know at some point in my life, I had a fair amount of friends who were narcissistic and who exploited my need to be externally validated against me. That sounds like a whole different video. If you want to see that video, put friends in the comments, and I'll make sure that I'll work on that. But here's the thing. When a narcissist, what I've been told, and I've done it, but I didn't reach the point of abuse. I'll say that, right? So I can talk to you to a certain point, and then I have to go to the experiences that have been shared with me. And when the narcissist meets a people pleaser, I think they truly see them. If you've ever seen the cartoon where I can't remember who it is, but they look at the other cartoon, and that cartoon character becomes like a pork chop or chicken, and they hadn't eaten all day. I truly believe that's how the narcissist sees the people pleaser, because something that I've always said, and I believe it to this day, predators know their prey. So I believe that narcissists watch people pleasers. I do. I do believe that they try to see if they are the type of prey, kind of think National Geographic. I think they do that. And then they pounce, but the pounce is what is so important for you to recognize. And let me go ahead and say that if you are in the midst of an abusive situation, loveisrespect.org, National Domestic Violence Hotline. Loveisrespect.org is a website. It will give you the option to click out if you need to. Okay, great. I'm not going to talk about it long because some of you just need to go there and get what you need. All right. loveisrespect.org, National Domestic Violence Hotline, which I think is ndv.org as well. So, or it might be .com, but loveisrespect.org is a place to start, and they're connected. Okay, guys. So I do believe that when the narcissist pounces on the people pleaser, the people pleaser may think they have met, complete pay dirt, like they have hit pay dirt. This is an amazing person. They, they validate their needs, they care for them, they're attentive. And the people pleaser honestly thinks that and in my people pleasing days, when my dysfunctional relationships, I thought I had met the one, and we were going to be amazing. We were going to be, great together. And we checked all these boxes together, and I thought it was amazing. Thankfully, I was able to get out of those relationships before, true abuse could happen. I feel like there was definitely some emotional abuse that was there, but I wasn't in that for a long time. My 10-year relationship, there was definitely some emotional abuse, but there was also a lot of emotional immaturity on both of our parts, right? Okay. So when the narcissist truly pounces on the people pleaser, and if the people pleaser stays in and connected to that individual, at some point, the script will completely flip. Completely. And there is a turning point that happens, and the poor people pleaser is left spinning, just spinning and thinking, oh my God, I've got to fix it. I've got to fix it. Because a huge part of people pleasing is the need to fix, to help, right? To fix, to help, to give, fix, help, give, and so the people pleaser is now scrounging, trying to fix it. And if they do not have the support necessary to exit that situation, or if they are actively engaged in roles and parts of their identity are tied to this relationship, like case in point, let's say that they think that to be a good husband that you stick in, because we tell people, right? We tell people, not me, because I think it's nonsense. We tell people in marriage is hard. It's hard work. I hate to be the one to break this to you, but relationships and marriage require effort. If you're trying to make it work, it does not work. You don't make it work. You put in effort. That effort is reciprocated. We grow together. We go together. All of that. Maybe that should be we grow together and we go together. Whatever, you get what I'm saying. We grow together and we go together. We evolve. We learn from each other. We've got to stop telling people that marriage is hard, because when it gets hard, because they're being mistreated, they say, well, I've been told that it's hard and it's not going to be easy. And there will be a certain amount of ease in a relationship that's healthy. And these may be things you've never heard, and you might be in the comments going, oh no, they told me it was hard and I stayed because they said it was hard. Yeah, they tell you that because theirs was hard. And they have to validate the fact that they stayed for year and year and year and year and year under the auspices that it was hard and it was going to get better. Are there some hard parts? Yes, but again, I go back to acute versus chronic. Is it acutely hard or is it chronically hard? If there's 7 days in a week and it's hard 6.5 of them, that is chronic, and more than likely, you're not going to come back from that. Sorry, not sorry. Make sure you check the description box below if you want to book a session and let's talk this out, because you could be in a hard season of your marriage or your relationship, but I'm telling you guys, if you got to make it work, for the most part, it just doesn't work. Effort. We're going for effort. But here's the other part of that. Here's the other part of why it can be hard. It's because people are bringing their dysfunction in. And one of the things I tell our clients is that, look, I'm not going to help you navigate dysfunction. Either you're going to come in here, we're going to work on becoming whole individuals. We're going to work on healing. We're going to work on filling these voids. We're going to work on our worthiness versus our woundedness. And then we'll decide what to do with this relationship. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you, okay, well, this is how you deal with this. No, I'm not taking lambs to the slaughter. Like that's not what we do here. Anyway, so if you stay in the relationship, then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I need you to know that. Because for the people pleaser, a lot of times there's this inherent, like I said, there's inherent need to fix. And I'm like, you won't fix this. It's just going to get worse. And just as you think it's getting better, or just as you see a light that might say, okay, this could work, it works for a moment and then it doesn't, because there's this thing called a trauma bond. I need you to be Googling these terms. I need you to know what they are, because love bombing, trauma bonds, narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, all of these things matter. They do. And a lot of them aren't talked about. So I'm going to talk about them today because I want you to understand these terms, because the trauma bond is when you think that everything's going to be okay. And then it draws you back in, you know, with the hope of it's going to be better. And guess what? It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And what the narcissist is hoping is that you're going to stay because of your need to be externally validated. So they dangle it like a little carrot, like they're going to validate you at some point. So stick around, take this abuse, take this mistreatment, and I'll validate you at some point. Wait for it, wait for it. Guys, I truly, like from the bottom of my heart, I truly want you to have everything you've ever wanted in life. I believe that. I believe an abundant life is your divine birthright. Abundance of everything: love, money, peace, joy, hope, all of it. But I also know, however, I won't say but because that'll negate the previous statement. However, it requires us to be in a position to receive that. And that matters a lot. And it's hard to be in that position when you are addicted to external validation in the form of being a people pleaser. And so, no, I don't want you to be prey for the narcissistic predator. I don't want you to be that. I don't want you to be mistreated. I don't want you to be emotionally abused. I don't want you to be financially abused. I don't want you to be domestically abused. I don't want anything abusive to happen to you. Okay? I don't. And so I wanted to make this video because I hope it'll help somebody. And there are plenty of links down in the description box if you want to book a session and talk it out. First session, no charge. If you just want to come talk, great, fine. But there are plenty of links down in the description box. Leave a comment, tag a friend, share this with somebody if you know that they're struggling. Okay? Because I'm all about that new season. And in that new season, as I've told you, many of you are about to live life as your full and favorite self. And that's amazing. And you know what? You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it so much. You've put up with a lot of stuff. And so if this video helps you, drop a comment, like, subscribe. Like I said, check the description box because there's lots of things down there for you. But I wanted you to know this in case you were in a relationship and it was running this course, or if you have been in a relationship and it ran this course. I want to encourage you to seek support and safe space so that you can be better. And you can always be your own superhero. That's all I had to say about that, guys. My name is 𝘃𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗲, speaker, teacher, author, and coach. I already reminded you to be your own superhero. So let me thank you for loving, hanging out, watching this video, sharing it to who needs it. Thank you for doing all of that with me. See you on the next video.